It's New Brew Thursday. Woo! And today we're doing a kind of special beer, I guess. It's a one-off beer, if there are any one-off beers that are to be drank.
It's a beer that smells of rich mahogany.
It's
leatherbound books.
And leatherbound books.
Let's keep up with the lines here.
Yes, nice.
What's
Baxter, you know I don't speak Spanish.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Yes. Unique New York.
Unique New York.
Yes, this is Will Farrell's Will
I want to be in you. Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah, this is Will Farrell and Automatic Brewing Company's Will Power IPA. It's an Oatmeal IPA.
Which is unique.
Yeah, the first time I heard about this, I was kind of like, I mean, I'm not thinking it's bad, but it's like, I wonder what that's like. And if you know,
I actually thought it was going to be bad.
Really?
So, yeah, because I mean, oatmeal doesn't affect taste, but it affects mouthfeel, and I think that I kind of was like, oh, it's going to be like a IPA that feels like a porter.
It'll take away from the hoppy,
crisp dryness.
Yeah,
of it.
but if you ask me, an IPA that has the mouthfeel of a porter is interesting.
It's interesting, yeah. Don't get me wrong. When I first heard about it, I was like, pass. But it turns out that it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, if you know anything about oatmeal used in beer, which I know very little, but like Steve said, you use oatmeal to basically body up the beer to give it a better mouthfeel. It makes it a little more viscous.
Silky.
It goes down nice and smooth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it kind of, I would assume, cuts some of the bitterness from the hops out, and everything is a little more. You get the feeling that it's more balanced in your mouth.
Yeah.
Because beers like Pliny the Younger, they have that same.
When I have something in my mouth, I want it to be more balanced.
They have that same feel, and
So
this is accomplishing that in a different way, I think.
Would lactose or that do something similar? Kind of like balance out the mouthfeel?
I think so, but I don't know if you'd want to use lactose.
Lactose
in
in
an
an IPA would be really disgusting.
Oof.
It might be.
No, I just meant, is it a similar effect when we did that milk stout? Because the lactose seemed to
that
kind
brings
of
more
balance
of
it
that
out.
brings more of a creaminess versus a silkiness.
And you're also adding not an artificial
So if
sweetness,
you did
but you're adding an outside sugar to the beer.
It's going to affect the taste a lot more than the oatmeal does.
You can tell just by the way
So
you're
if you did a
pouring that.
milk oatmeal stout, it would be silky
Dude,
and
brew it up, man.
smooth.
Do it.
Seriously.
So yeah, like I said, this is from Automatic Brewing Company. If you've never heard of them, basically it's Lee Chase's brewery. Lee Chase owns Blind Lady Ale House down in Normal Heights in San Diego, and it's his brewery. He's got a 2-barrel system. Actually, it says on the back of the growler, which I kind of like this. It says, this beer was brewed in Normal Heights, California by Automatic Brewing Company. Each batch is crafted just 2 barrels, 62 gallons at a time.
Wow.
So when you drink his beer,
It's very small batch stuff.
He used to be the head brewer for Stone.
Right.
So years and years and
Before
years
they
ago.
moved, I think, to the bigger facility
Right.
in Escondido. He was the man there. So
Cheers.
Cheers.
smells very typical for, an
Yeah, it doesn't
IPA.
have a huge hop aroma on the nose, and I wonder if that is affected, if the oatmeal affects the hop aroma at all.
Maybe.
But the flavor, the flavor of it and the mouthfeel are spectacular.
It's awesome.
Spectacular.
The mouthfeel is, I think, obviously it's an oatmeal IPA, and he's going for better mouthfeel, and this is what makes this so good.
Yeah, it's not like that really crispy, aromatic, really fresh biting thing. Don't get me wrong, you have all the aroma in the hops on the back end, but in that initial, it's more kind of like, what
You're
did you
right.
call it? Silky,
yeah.
You get the bitterness in the back end, and the hops do shine through quite a bit, but what really is forward in this is the mouthfeel and just how smooth it is.
Yeah, I would definitely say this is an IPA. I would drink this and be like, oh, IPA.
And you could drink this, and someone said, oh yeah, here's an IPA, and you drink it and go, yeah, it was a really good IPA. But, not knowing it was made with oatmeal, but when you know it was made with oatmeal and has that component in it, it's like, okay, now I see,
Totally.
It adds to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and this was a extremely limited run, and you had to buy tickets to even get the growler fill.
Right.
And this was part of Will Farrell's Cancer for College
charity.
And it's interesting. They do, cancer survivors, I guess amputees as well. The guy that started the charity, survived cancer, but then
Twice,
and then lost 2 of his feet.
Come on.
Like at that point, you're like, go to college, go to Disneyland. We've got it.
Do what you got to do.
We've got it covered.
You can live your life.
So it's like, yeah, you've been through enough now. So I mean, it's kind of a cool thing that, it's like, because if you've ever known anybody that's been that sick and that long-term illness, it destroys you financially, and so any chances of going to college or doing any of that kind of stuff are done.
I mean, even with insurance, it's a constant battle, and
right.
It gets to a point also if you have you're dealing with someone with cancer where the money doesn't even matter. You're just so emotionally wrapped up in the cancer itself. And
so I think the name of the beer is actually pretty apropos too. I mean, Will Power IPA.
Yeah, Will Powered IPA. So
it's delicious, and Lee is one of those brewers that has always kind of just, I've been in awe of. I've never had a beer that he's made that I haven't been just like, oh my god, this is the most amazing beer ever. But he's very much a small batch brewer.
Yeah, one of the cool things about Automatic Brewing Company is his beers are so limited, and he basically, when he does a release, it's kind of few and far between that he'll actually do a growler release of something. It's got to be special, as far as I know. But he basically releases the beers, and you get a new growler, and it's a cool looking growler. I mean, their logo is one of the coolest logos I've seen in a while. It's got like gears with an A in the middle for like the spokes of the gear or whatever, and
I mean, this is obviously not a beer that our average audience member is going to ever be able to try. And so, apologies for that.
So,
but
neener, I guess?
No, but I think more the reason why I thought it was important to do this beer on the show is because the concept of putting oatmeal in an IPA is such a unique thing for me. Like, I've never heard of that. I'd never seen that done before.
Me neither.
So I think it's interesting for a lot of our home brewers, especially, like, give it a try. Like, make an IPA with an oatmeal in there and send us a couple bottles. Anyway.
I'm not quite sure.
We'll trade you some of ours, maybe.
Yeah, we do have some homebrew to go out there.
So, one good IPA deserves another.
Yep.
So we're going to head off to Master Pairings. I guess I'm heading off to Master Pairings. I'll see you guys later.
Enjoy your time there.
Yes. And we're going to do Double Jack IPA.
Which is probably a beer you could get your hands on.
Oh, yeah, easily.
It's made by Firestone Walker.
Firestone Walker, and it's pretty plentiful. And we're going to be doing the
Shropshire Blue?
Shropshire Blue cheese, yeah.
Yep.
So, from what I've been told, anyway. So, go enjoy it. Go on.
Cheers.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Master Pairings with me, Dr. Bill, and with me today, Stephen Johnson.
I'm here.
I'm here with two of my favorite things. I like you too, Stephen.
Whatever.
But a double IPA.
Okay.
Let's talk about that first before we
Double
go
Jack?
into my other thing. Yes, Firestone Double Jack, 9.5%.
Also one of my favorite double IPAs.
Yeah, one of the Matt Brindleson is just an amazing brewer. He's elevated that brewery to world-class levels. It's definitely comparable in my mind to Russian River, Lost Abbey, Pizza Port place, as far as one of the top world-class breweries. They have an amazing barrel program. They haven't really gotten into the sours yet, but they're really improving. I expect that to be coming. Everything else, though, is working amazingly. And now they're getting into the IPAs. They started with Union Jack, a great, really well balanced, but yet can hold up to the big San Diego IPAs.
Right.
And now we have the Double Jack. I love this beer, if you haven't noticed. It's just really good and really well crafted.
So somehow it hasn't been opened yet.
Let's jump into it. It's all about the anticipation.
No, I'm all about the drinking it. Nice color. I love their glasses too.
Yeah, these are Nonic. They're great everyday pint glasses.
Cheers.
Pineapple, guava.
A lot of citrus, a lot of floral notes on there.
I guess some basil in the mouthfeel from the, not in the mouthfeel, but in the flavor. The basil plays through really well with the, because of the malt bill.
Okay.
It's got a nice, strong malt background.
Now that you say that, I can kind of taste it, but
Yeah, it's one of those things. You just have to be receptive.
I get more of a peppery taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. That's the herbaceousness. It's all about having what you're tasting. And then whether people recognize it or not, a lot of times I'll start listing stuff and they'll go, oh yeah, I get that. I get that. And I get that. Brambles? What are you talking about? I go, well, you know.
It's like licking mahogany.
You have to try all these. You have to try all these things to be able to experience it. But a great beer. And I've got it at room cellar temperature.
Okay.
It's not even that cold.
Which is unique for an IPA. Usually you'd serve an IPA a little colder.
I like to keep them cold, but I like to drink a well-balanced or a bigger IPA, especially the Imperials, at a little bit warmer temperature. Now, it serves the same purpose if you pour it in your glass. It's a big beer. You shouldn't, you shouldn't just down it.
It should warm up in your glass long.
Yeah. So it achieves the same effect. But when I'm opening a great bottle of wine or a great beer and I get down to that last glass and I'm like, oh, it tastes so great now. I wish I would have had it all like this.
Right.
So I just go straight to the gist of it. The other thing that I truly love here is Colston Bassett, one of the greatest creameries in the world, and Shropshire Blue.
You're going to have to sell me on this cheese because it smells like butt.
Shropshire Blue was originally made in Scotland. I think that's like in the 70s. And the creamery went out of business. And then another creamery started doing it. And I think it was called Blue Stewart originally. The veining is classic blue cheese. It's the Roquefort penicillin strain. And I think they use this stuff called annatto, which is a natural food coloring. Usually I promote with big IPAs, I like to promote cheddars, aged cheddars, things like that. But they also go really well, kind of a comparison contrast a little bit with a great blue. And this is a great blue.
God, it stinks so bad though.
Really, it doesn't. I mean, it's not even like
it's not like
the wash rind cheeses.
Right.
It's not like a Camembert. It's not like big nasty smelly. It doesn't. It just smells like a blue cheese.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about this.
It's a ripe blue cheese, and it smells great.
It tastes amazing. I will say that. Like it's got like big, bold, salty flavors,
but the salt is hidden a lot.
Right.
A lot of blue cheeses, it's all about the salt and the acid. This is rounded.
Very creamy.
With the veining, creamy, really good.
I like it. Oh, God, it works so well with this.
It's almost like a cross between like a Colston Bassett and like a Gorgonzola Dolce. It's not creamy, it's not overly creamy like Gorgonzola Dolce, but it's softer and it's good. It's so good. And what do you think of it with the beer?
It's amazing. Yeah, it totally brings out the more of the citrus.
Oh yeah.
Just makes the beer come alive.
They play really well together. And so it's a great pairing. And IPAs, of course, are great with all kinds of spicy foods, as you know. I love doing them with spicy foods because what they do is they go ahead and bring out the spicy characteristics. A lot of times you do a multi-beer, like classic, let's take Mexican food. Classic beer style would be a Vienna lager.
Right.
Negra Modelo.
Right.
A lot of German expatriates went to
traders.
No, basically that's a term for leaving country, moving. So had started breweries in Mexico, so they did a lot of different German style beers, and the Vienna lagers are very popular in Mexico, of course. And so they would go really well with hot food, but IPAs have a tendency to really promote bitterness. It soothes it on the front end, but then on the end it has more of a lingering bitterness.
This really just this cheese just really calms this beer. Like the bitterness of it, it's so much more smooth. It's so much less so much more balanced with this cheese than it was before, which says a lot because it starts out being very balanced, very well made. And so I mean, it
works really well with the big over the top.
This is just so accentuated with this beer.
Big over-the-top hop monsters, it works really well on too, so it totally takes care of that. But thanks for coming, Stephen.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers, everyone.
Boom. How was that double jack?
The double jack was very tasty. That cheese was amazing too. Apparently it's from a world-class creamery. I've never been to a world-class creamery. Girls have called me.
Was that your
creamery,
quotes?
But that's different.
World-class creamery.
World-class creamery.
Wow.
So it's
Story
appropriate.
of my life.
Yeah, it's appropriate that you pick this up down at Will's vagina for this beer. So
Watch the movie.
yeah, there's a lot of Anchorman references here, but you know, yes, the
Will's
no,
vagina.
I don't think it means that. No, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Pretty sure it is.
Pretty sure it does.
That's so funny you said that.
But yeah, this is a fantastic beer. I think the concept's really great.
Yeah.
I give cheers to Lee and Will, whatever. You do what you want to.
Real quick, what's the percentage on this?
6.6.
Okay.
0.6. So.
Yeah, it's great.
It's
Yeah.
just above sessionable.
Yeah.
Actually, when I was talking to Lee about this, he thinks the oatmeal kind of lends it to be tasting more like a sessionable beer, where you can drink it very easily.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
he kind of fears that
Well, this certainly
since
doesn't.
it's kind of a higher ABV beer, you might drink too much of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 6.6 is not a high ABV beer.
Well, it's
I mean,
not sessionable. either.
Technically, it is, but I mean, let's face it. Who of us in the craft beer world really thinks 6.6 is that high anymore?
Well, I'm just saying what he said.
Yeah, no, I understand.
From his
In the
point of
craft
view,
beer
it's-
world, I agree. But in the world of just
the
beer
world
drinkers,
of beer drinkers altogether. And I'm not staring at John's chest
Yeah, I'm
because
like,
I think he's amazing
what is he
looking.
doing?
But you've got a bug right
yeah,
there.
he
It's kinda
is.
creeping me a
Don't
little bit.
don't believe the
It's on your
bug
coat.
story.
It's
He
on your
really
coat
is
right
staring at his chest.
I got a
for
little
just
bug. Now it's dead.
More than platonic
That'll
feelings.
be $10.
Oh, I'm sorry I didn't bring any cash. My bad.
Touches
free.
aren't free.
But anyway, cheers to Lee and to Will for supporting a good cause and getting behind that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, if you're ever in San Diego, check out Blind Lady Ale House.
Yeah,
They've got
their
awesome
pizza's
pizza.
Amazing. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
We were
Yeah.
there when we picked this up. Me and Yvonne were there, and we had the pesto pizza. It's
Oh, yeah.
a pesto sauce with, I think there's some kind of an onion thing
Some
on
tomato,
it.
maybe?
And then it's covered in like a leafy thing. Yvonne ordered it.
Now,
it's like
this is not a commercial for this pizza because wow, that
think
just
it
did not
was.
sound good at all.
No, yeah, you'd have to.
Covered in hemp.
It had
leaves.
praying mantises on it. I don't really know what was happening.
Covered in
there.
iceberg lettuce. No, it wasn't
Nice.
iceberg. It was that
Like
kind
spinach, like baby spinach leaf. Or?
of. It kind of looked like spinach, but it wasn't spinach.
This was awesome, and you're awesome.
Thanks, Lee. Thanks, Will.
Cheers.
I was actually talking about our audience. Whatever.
They're awesome too.
But they're way more awesome.
So,
audience, you guys rule.
Until next week, stay safe, and drink
Drink
beer.
beer and stay classy, San Diego. Why didn't you say it with me?
Well, because I was leaving it for you.
Why? I thought we were all gonna do it in unison.
In unison.
Oh, there can only be one.
There can only be one.
You wanna do it one more time in unison or no?
Okay.
All right.
It'll be more impactful.
All right. Put one beer in here then.
It's a damn good beer.
All right. So, until next week, stay safe,
Stay safe.
drink beer, and you stay classy,
San Diego.
We didn't rehearse that.
That was
That
Let's rehearse. Let's rehearse.
let's
That
do it
was
one
our
more
rehearse, I
time.
guess.
Yeah, let's do it one more time.
That was our rehearse.
Let's go into it with thanking. No, we already did that.
All right.
Okay.
So, as always, until next week, stay
Stay
safe,
safe,
drink beer,
and
you
stay classy, San Diego.
Now we'll probably get sued.
That was good. That was good.
We mentioned his
It was
charity.
fucking good, guys. It was good.
All right.
All right, let's bounce.
Unique New York. Stay classy, San Diego.